Of course, in the middle of my walk with Chloe, it starts to rain. Chloe, do you not like the rain or something? Hi guys, so yesterday I had my ultrasound and blood test appointment. So at the moment I'm progressing okay, but they did up my dose. My estrogen was a little low from where they wanted it. So they have upped me to 175 for the Gonal F injections. So I started that yesterday, and then I will be taking my next injections in a couple of minutes. But tomorrow is my second ultrasound and blood test, just to make sure I'm on track. So with that, they will just see how I'm progressing. I called the nurses because we just found out Chad has a trip coming up where it looks like he'll be gone next Monday and coming back Wednesday, but probably late afternoon. And if all is on track, I'm due to have my retrieval surgery on next Wednesday. So at this stage, we had been trying to avoid doing a sperm collection just because it's an extra $600. And so if we could do fresh, we would have preferred to do that. So that's where we were up to. But because it was going to be cutting it really close, I called the nurse just to kind of work out what the best thing to do would be. So they gave me a call back. She actually spoke to the lab technician who usually assists with the surgery, and they said if things are progressing the way they are expecting them to, and again there's no guarantees because it's all depending on how my blood work goes, they do think I will end up doing the surgery on Wednesday, and if Chad's not there, they would have to cancel this whole round. So what they've done is, my nurse is amazing. She actually has called up and begged the lab technicians to take a collection from Chad tomorrow. So they squeezed him in at 10 a.m. They don't usually do collections on Friday, and they're actually closed Saturday, Sunday, and then Chad leaves probably at like 5:30, 6 o'clock on Monday, so it'd be way too early for him to do a deposit then. So they have bent over backwards to make sure to try and get Chad in, and look, if they don't need it, they don't need it, but if they do, it means this round hasn't been for nothing, and that they've got it there and they can go ahead, do the retrieval and start the implantation of the eggs to make our little embryos. So just had our appointment at the doc for our ultrasound, blood test and Chad's deposit. We got out of there quicker than I was expecting. It was so funny though. Chad was told he's not allowed in the ultrasound room during this part of the treatment. And when she was explaining why, when I was in there by myself, she's like, because the guys get quite anxious and you don't get the message until the afternoon about what to do next. I was like, okay. Anyway, that was quite an experience. The first time was no problem. This woman, I think, was more experienced. Definitely was less uncomfortable than the first one. So that was good, but it was quite amusing. She was trying to make some small talk, which was fine, kind of asking how long, we'd been trying. And so for me to then tell her, yeah, well, December will be 12 years, she was like, oh my God, really? So I was like, huh. So most people you see don't wait that long. Okay, anyway. So, and then when I told her what my issues were with PCOS and then endometriosis, she's like, oh, well, you PCOS girls, you have a harder time. And I was like, oh, really? She's like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's more that you guys feel the symptoms worse, because normal women produce like 11 to 12 follicles per ovary, where you guys kind of start at that. So you guys have more like 25 or something. So you guys get all the symptoms worse, and just like you usually get more bloating and weight gain and that, and you feel things worse than the other girls. And I was like, oh, right. You know, I said, well, you know, we knew that this was an option for us for quite some time. And hang on, gotta let Chad into the bonnet of the car. But yeah, she was just kind of going on and on about how normal girls have it easier, even though I don't think this is easy on anyone, but us PCOS girls have a harder time. How I don't really think this process is easy on anyone, but like I said, when I started doing these vlogs, I, as best as I could, knew kind of what to expect from this process. So if anything, I feel really lucky and blessed with the fact that I feel like I've had mild symptoms. I mean, yes, I've got bloating. I am actually going to, and I really didn't want to, but I think I'm gonna go get some maternity pants before technically I'm pregnant, just because my bloating is kind of bad. But like, other than wearing my pants, it's not like painful. It's just I'm so short-waisted that my pants literally go halfway up my body and so it sits right on the part of my stomach that's the most bloated. Anyway, so I'll probably go pick up some maternity pants today, and hopefully some fun socks ready for transfer. But the way that the woman was going on, it sounds like things are on track for me to do retrieval mid next week. So hopefully Wednesday or Thursday. And yeah, hopefully it's all going in the right directions. Chad was asking me what would kind of stop me from doing transfer, and now that we've got his sperm frozen, just in case he's not back in time, that shouldn't be a problem now. So I guess the only thing that would stop us from doing retrieval is if I'm not producing enough follicles. But I'm pretty sure that, I mean, I had a glance at the screen on Wednesday when I was in for my last appointment, and they've upped my meds since then, and it looked like there was, I don't know, a good 8 to 10 per, well, you know, from what I could see. So I don't know. I don't think there should be a problem in them stopping this round, but I'm also just trying to be open, go with the flow, not have too many preconceived expectations, and just trusting that God's got this process, that I'll have the right amount of eggs, I'll have the right amount of embryos, and that it will work the way it needs to. Not sure if you can see it, but my very sweet husband is pulling up so I don't have to go out in this terrible rainy weather. Hi guys, it's been a couple days, so I thought I would fill you in where we're up to. Friday, later on that day, I went and visited my mum. She had major surgery and was in hospital up here in Perth. She's doing well, so no need to worry about anything like that. But yeah, so that's just been something that's been going on in the background, and we knew that was coming up. So I got to take her a care package from me and my siblings, just some flowers and some stuff to help her out while she's in hospital. And hopefully she gets to go home today, if not tomorrow. Then we had on Saturday, it was the girls' football game. They did really great, but again, I had to do my injection out and about. So Saturday I was much more organised. But to be honest, Saturday was probably the worst I've felt during this process. I was already feeling really tired, and bloating at that stage had pretty much gotten out of control. And so I really didn't want to have to buy maternity clothes before I was pregnant. But sometimes in this process, you just got to suck it up and do what's necessary. So that's what I had to do. I bought some maternity pants, and they are really comfortable. So I got the really high-waisted ones where it's like a whole band. Anyway, I'll show you what they look like later. Yeah, I couldn't wear my Broncos shirt on Saturday. I was so bloated. So I have a picture of it right here. And I just didn't feel comfortable wearing that in public. Chad, my sweet husband, said I looked fine. I just felt really uncomfortable. So I changed outfits or changed shirts to something a little more loose fitting, wore a scarf, and I had to wear a coat anyway because it was quite chilly. But yeah, after my injections, I felt super nauseous, like the most nauseous I've ever felt. And I was running the water for the girls, and yeah, it was every time I bent down, I thought I was going to lose my lunch. So yeah, I just had to suck it up and keep going, as you do during this process. So yeah, the side effects have definitely kicked up a notch. Hopefully that's a good sign. It means my ovaries are doing what they need to do on the medication. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the next step. Sunday, we had church in the morning. Then we went to the movies with my parents, and that was good. But yeah, I was just exhausted. So I get home, I just feel tired all the time. So then this morning, Monday morning, is labs and ultrasound. So Chad was off this morning, so I was up before 4 a.m. We had to leave the house just after 4 to get him to the airport for a 5:30 flight. So I'm exhausted. I tried to go back to sleep, but because our sweet Chloe has separation anxiety, I had to give her medication 1 hour before we left. So I had to leave the house at 7:15. So she needed her medication at 5:45. So yeah, by the time I got home, it was almost time to give her a medication. So there wasn't a whole lot of point. Anyway, so I just came out. I did my ultrasound and blood work, and hopefully this afternoon I will get to hear if and when we do retrieval surgery this week. Hi guys, so I got the call this afternoon. They did actually call me, and my retrieval surgery is booked for Wednesday morning. So that's all going ahead, which means tonight, in about half an hour, I need to do my trigger medication. So I already did my regular injections at 5:30 like I normally do, but then I need to take 10,000 units of the trigger pregnal injection. So this is the one where I have to mix it up myself. So I've never done this before. Okay, so here are my containers. So this is just the solvent that I need. Now, in my instructions, it says I only need 1 of these for 2 of the pregnal, which would make the 10,000 because these are 5,000 each. I've got my syringes and stuff, including, these are the ones I inject myself with because they're much smaller, but these big ones are the ones to mix it together. So the way I'm going to do it is by using one needle with the one vial of the solvent, or like the saline, and then both of the pregnal. So hopefully this all works. Like I said, I've never done this kind of injection before. All the other ones have been pre-dosed, ready to go. So I've already washed my hands, and I will get ready to clean my hands and pop the tops, and then go ahead and get it ready for my injection, so I have it right at 8 o'clock. Putting these down in a different spot so I don't get them mixed up. So here is the powder, and so then when I do the saline solution, or it just calls it the solvent, it dissolves the powder, and then you take it in. Yeah, I don't have to give myself this needle. I mean, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's huge. That's my alarm to let me know to get my meds prepped, so. I kind of just want to make sure this is on properly, so I'm just going to push it on there a little bit tighter if it will go. But when I was instructed this, I was told they were going to be screw-on needles, and they're not screw-on, they're like push-on. So that's why maybe I just pushed it a bit harder to make sure there wasn't any other air going in. Yeah, so I'm putting the liquid in here, and straight away it dissolved. I'm not sure if you can even see it, but it like straight away dissolved. I'm not allowed to shake it. I can slightly swirl it, but it did literally just dissolve. So now I just have to make sure I get all of it. Like I said, this is not as easy as they made it sound. Okay, that feels like all of it went in. Second one went a lot better. It told me to hold the vial upside down. It worked better just having the air in it and keeping it at the bottom of the container. So anyway, so I'm going to put the cap back on that and then get the smaller one ready to go. top, and then just got the tiniest pinprick at the top. Don't want to lose any liquid. So I'm going to put that back on, and then that is ready for 8 o'clock. I'm just redoing my hands because I just made myself a cup of tea in the couple of minutes wait we had. But it is time. Guys, it is getting real. I guess I was a little unsure this day would happen for a while. So guys, I'm gonna fill you in next vlog with how retrieval day goes. But until then, I will see you next vlog, guys, next time. See ya.